Financier Chor Babulal is facing double trouble over his alleged Hawala money and transactions. Today, the Income Tax Department and election officials raided his residence in Bellary. Now, this comes after election officials and cops unearthed massive cash stocked at his residence yesterday. Election officials in a search operation managed to unearth unaccounted cash of around 9 crore rupees from the residence of a moneylender in Bellary city in the wee hours of Saturday. Based on credible information about flow of whopping sums being used during the ongoing elections, the poll officials led by Assistant Commissioner Anirudh Shravan, Additional Deputy Commissioner Venkatesh, Additional SP C.K. Baba and Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax Guru Prasad, armed with a search warrant, conducted search operations on 3 houses in the Ganesh colony belonging to Parashuram Puriya, a moneylender popularly known as Chor Babulal. In fact, first of all, when they went there, they tried to target his palatial houses. But when they found nothing, they then targeted small houses where he actually lived. And that is where they first found about 4 to 5 crores in cash. Now, later on, we're told that armed with the search warrant, they went about their work and opened the safes only to find in total more than 9 crore rupees in cash, gold biscuits, deposits, national savings certificates and what more. As of now, the income tax officials have raided his residence. Now, the man on the right of your television screen, you see there is Chor Babulal. Now, furthermore, they also found pamphlets in his house with pictures of BJP's Bellary candidate Shriramulu, along with fake electronic voting machines with the name of Shriramulu as well as the BJP's party symbol. What officials state that this money could be used to woo voters, and the fake electronic machine is to actually inform the illiterate voters as to this is the individual that you need to press the button for. As of today, the income tax has conducted a raid on his residences and offices. In fact, financier Chor Babulal is facing double trouble over his alleged Hawala money and transactions. Today, the Income Tax Department and election officials raided his residence in Bellary. This comes after election officials and cops unearthed massive cash stocked at his residence yesterday. Well, for more on this, I'm joined by my colleague Arun. Arun, can you tell us what's happening over there now? Have the income tax officials or sleuths managed to find anything else?
Nolan, what we're given to believe is at this point of time, the raids are still continuing. The process of actually collating the documents is still on, because remember, this particular person who also goes by the name of Chor Babulal is actually a very leading or prominent moneylender based out of Bellary, and the very fact that some checks which were drawn on bank accounts of one of the erstwhile regional parties has now led to a lot of alarm and concern among the not just the polling officials, but also, according to sources in the district as well as the Income Tax Department, because it's a clear indication that as far as Bellary is concerned, it's a very high stakes game, and everything is possibly being used to ensure that some candidates manage to win this particular election. So clearly a very disturbing development as far as the searches and seizures are concerned. Ironically enough, it also comes at a time when the BJP's prime ministerial candidate is in Karnataka campaigning for his party. So clearly a lot of agonizing moments, so to speak, for the BJP or the Saffron party, Nolan.
Now, Varun, it's surprising that his name did not come up in the reports of the mining scam, or did it?
Nolan, in this particular case, one doesn't know who tipped off the income tax official and how the district administration also got information. But clearly, it appears that he could have shot to prominence just ahead of elections, because remember, elections, although the election commission lays down very strict norms as to the kind of expenditure that can be incurred, it is but an open secret that most of the candidates, in fact all the candidates, clearly overstep that limit. So as far as this particular case is concerned, we don't know who tipped off the EC or the district administration, but clearly it is an indication that somebody was keeping a tab on this particular person, and the very fact that he was perhaps neck deep involved in this kind of funding activity is a clear pointer to the fact that there is much more than what meets the eye as far as these kind of funding activities go, Nolan.
And finally, Arun, do we know if he's under house arrest or have the police arrested him?
There's virtually no information. In fact, barring the fact that some of the media did manage to find the investigative officials, including the assistant commissioner and the additional deputy commissioner, as well as the assistant commissioner for income tax yesterday, there is very little information. Everyone is maintaining a stony silence. They're not willing to reveal what exactly has happened. There is no information as to whether the person in question, that is Parasram Puria, has been arrested or he's still being probed. But clearly a very disturbing development as far as Bellary is concerned, Nolan.
Right, Arun, thank you very much for all that. Well, Amrish today held a roadshow for Nandan Nilekani in Bangalore South. The rebel star batted for the Congress Lok Sabha candidate and said that there was a need for educated and intelligent politicians. Well, the moment he arrived in Bengaluru from Malaysia, he stated that he would campaign for Nandan Nilekani today, and tomorrow he would do the same for Ramya in Mandya at a mega rally. There you can see rebel star Amrish, hale and hearty, all fit and fine, campaigning for Bangalore South Lok Sabha candidate, the Congress, Nandan Nilekani in Srinagar. And you can also see the huge crowds that have gathered over there to take part in this massive rally and also to catch a glimpse of their favorite rebel star. Now, stars have been hitting the campaign trail for their choice of candidates. The latest is Harshika Poonacha, who is campaigning for BJP candidate Shivkumar Udasi. The actress was part of the roadshow campaign of the BJP candidate. She also said that Shivraj Kumar had asked her to campaign for Geeta, but she refused, saying that she will only campaign for the BJP. Well, even the stars are very picky about which party they want to support. She has stated that she would not campaign for Geeta Shivraj Kumar, even though Shivraj Kumar asked her to come over there. She stated that she will campaign only for the BJP. We have some big news coming in now. Devagowda responds to what Prime Ministerial candidate Modi had stated. In fact, this is the big news that we are now tracking. Devagowda responds to Narendra Modi's jibe. I have my sons to provide shelter for me. This is what he stated. It's a disappointing statement made by a Prime Ministerial candidate. Devagowda, let Modi provide shelter for minorities. This is what he says. He also took a jibe at him once more by saying that I am allowed to go abroad, but Modi can't. In fact, this is the big news that we're now tracking. Devagowda responds to Narendra Modi's jibe. He says, I have my sons to provide shelter for me. And it's a disappointing statement made by a Prime Ministerial candidate, and that Modi provides shelter for minorities, and that he also went on to say that I am allowed to go abroad, but Modi cannot. Yesterday, former Prime Minister and JDS Supremo H.D. Devagowda had made a statement that if the BJP gets more than 272 and Narendra Modi becomes the Prime Minister of this country, he will take political sannyas. Now, Modi, who's in Karnataka today addressing rallies in various districts in Chikbalapura, he stated that if Devagowda wants to take sannyas, he's more than welcome to come to Gujarat, and that is Narendra Modi, will make sure that he and Gujarat will provide him with whatever is necessary for him to live his life in sannyas, much more than what his sons would do. And now Devagowda has once more hit back at Modi's jibe, saying that he has his sons to provide shelter for him, and it's a disappointing statement made by a Prime Ministerial candidate. He also went on to say that let Modi provide shelter for the minorities first, and that he also spoke about Modi not being given a visa to attend any sort of function or official functions in the US. He says, I am allowed to go abroad, but Modi cannot.